This $10 parlay for NFL Week 3 could win you $1,000. What's going on? My name's Austin. We're joined by Logan. Let's do it. We do this video every single week. Let's flash back to last week, how we did. I'll put the parlays, how they ended up over our faces. We both went 2 for 4, so a little bit of sign of progress. I cashed DJ Moore and Lamar Jackson's legs. Logan, you had a pretty good cash with Christian Kirk, 75 plus, and James Conner, 75 plus. Look, I think a sign of progress. Maybe we can both go 4 for 4 in week 1, went 0 for 4. Week 2, 2 for 4. 4 for 4 in week 3, I certainly think is on the table. If you are new, my name's Austin. Go do us a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. We're going to dive into our legs real quick, but we are on DraftKings, and we want to talk about DraftKings real quick because they have much better odds than FanDuel for these parlays, and they have a great bonus offer for you guys. You can get $200 in bonus bets. Check the details all down below. Sign up with top link in description. Make a $5 money line bet. Even if it loses, you get $200 in bonus bets, and you get up to $150 in no sweat bets. Take advantage of that down below. And let's talk about 2 other videos we actually have for the NFL. We have a player props video where we have 4 props, actually maybe more than 4, a couple 1.5 unit plays. Last Sunday we went 4-0 in the NFL in player props. Let's try to do that again. That video has the identical thumbnail to the one you see on the screen. And then we also have a game picks video where we have a spread, a team total, and over under. Go check out that and another prop. The thumbnail looks exactly like this one. Just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our NFL videos as well as our other best bets videos. But Logan, I'm going to lead things off. I'm going to go into my favorite picks. I actually got 5 legs. I'm feeling really good about this one though. I'm not going too crazy on a limb, but let's start with this first guy. We're going to Elijah Moore, my first leg of the Cleveland Browns. 50 plus receiving yards, currently plus 160. Now, he's coming into here. If you look at him so far through 2 weeks, he's at the 43 and 36 yards, 3 receptions in each week. But you look at the targets, 7 and 9 targets. So the target's there. He just hasn't been able to connect with Deshaun Watson. I think he could. He has a perfect matchup against the Titans, who have a great rushing defense, but not a great passing defense. And with Nick Chubb now out for the year, they're going to have to probably lean on the pass a little bit more in this contest. And look at the Titans so far this year. They've allowed 5 wide receivers to have 50 plus receiving yards. We saw them allow 3 in week 1, 2 in week 2. I like Moore's chances. Give me him for 50 plus. Let's take another receiver though for 50 plus. Staying in the same division, going to Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Orioles, 50 plus receiving yards, plus 165. Now, last week we saw Odell Beckham Jr. get hurt. We saw Bateman have a very high uptick in snaps. And this week we see OBJ is officially out, so Bateman's going to be in for a big workload. And while everyone's going to be on Zay Flowers on Sunday, I think Bateman's got a good shot to get at least 50 plus receiving yards. I mean, we saw in week 1 he only played 39% of the snaps. Week 2 he played 59%. He should play even more because that was with Odell Beckham Jr. playing over 50% of the snaps himself. And we've seen him have 35 and 18 yards so far this season. On Sunday he gets a tough matchup against the Colts, well, tough rushing matchup because the Colts have allowed the fewest rushing yards per rush attempt in the NFL. We know the Ravens obviously aren't as run heavy as they have been in years past with the new offensive coordinator. We see them going to have to throw the ball. The Colts allowed the most wide receiver yards, receiving yards to wide receivers this season. Zay Flowers probably has a good game, but I think Bateman has a chance to get 50 plus. He could be a sneaky play. Give me Rashad Bateman. Let's move to another wide receiver, Adam Thielen, 50 plus receiving yards for the Carolina Panthers. Look, with Bryce Young now out, Andy Dalton's going to be under center, and I won't lie to you, I think the offense is going to look a lot better with Andy Dalton under center. Obviously, he's an NFL vet, and this is a guy that's not really trying to run around and try to run for yards. This guy that's going to sit in the pocket, try to get the ball out of his hands. And Adam Thielen, not a guy that's going to be running fly routes, running those curls, finding zones, and that's what Andy Dalton's good at. Also, Adam Thielen talked about he was one of the reasons that he went to Carolina this offseason was because Andy Dalton was there. Last week, we saw Thielen have 54 yards against this tough Saints defense. Now he gets a very easy matchup against Seattle, who has allowed the 2nd most receiving yards to wide receivers this season. 4 receivers at 50 plus versus for Seattle this year. I think Thielen could be in a positive game script. I'll roll with him. The 4th leg is an interesting one. Let's talk about him. Josh Jacobs race to 20 rushing yards, plus 150 on DraftKings. Look, if you're like, this is a weird prop, yeah, it's because it is. DraftKings has this market, a race to prop. A lot of other books don't have it, which is another incentive to try to sign up for DraftKings. Use our details down below in the description. But look at Jacobs here. We need to be the first player in this game to get 20 rushing yards. So he's going to be going up against the Steelers, against Najee Harris, Jalen Moore, and maybe Kenny Pickett. Those guys could get some yards. I don't trust their offensive line at all to push and get rushing yards. You look at Josh Jacobs, obviously coming off a bad week, -2 rushing yards last week. A great matchup on Sunday Night Football. You look at the Steelers allowing 5.6 yards per carry. If the Raiders get the ball first, we could see Josh Jacobs nail this leg pretty easily on that first drive. Even if the Raiders don't get the ball first, I do not trust the Steelers at all to be able to rush for 20 yards. If they do, I'll tip my cap to him. I really like Josh Jacobs on Sunday night. I'll roll with him. And then my 5th and final leg, let's assume the first 4 legs have absolutely smacked chef's kiss. going to have to wait till Monday Night Football for Puka Nacua, taking him for 75 plus receiving yards, plus 135. If we do get this far, you have a chance to hedge if you want to for a little bit of guaranteed money. But also, you look at Nacua, who's been so good, 119 and 147 receiving yards so far this year. He's going to have a tougher matchup than he has seen the past 2 weeks, but it's going up against the Bengals, who, people might say they have a great pass defense. In week 1, they had to face the Browns, a very run-heavy team, and in terrible weather. And then week 2, we saw the Ravens be able to have some success passing the ball against them. 237 passing yards. 2 Ravens had 60-plus receiving yards. We know this Rams offense will throw the ball more than the Ravens did, and I certainly think we could see Puka Nacua on Monday Night Football take us home. 75-plus receiving yards. The target share is there. Everything else is there. So here you are. 5 legs, $10 will pay out over $1,000. I really like this one. I think we're cashing at least a couple of these legs. So maybe for the round robin it, I wouldn't call you crazy. This is going 5 for 5. I'm making $1,000 all the way, sweating on Sunday, sweating Puka on Monday, and I'm cashing out $10 to win over $1,000. But Logan, I like what you cooked up. What you got for the people on Sunday?
I love what you cooked up. You're going to make us $1,000 richer. So it's now my turn to make us $2,000 in total. My payout is $10 to win just a little over $1,000 and six. So we look at the first leg of this one. It's Justin Fields of the Bears, 200 plus passing yards, plus 160 on this leg individually. Now we know the Bears offense, it's in turmoil. Everyone loves clowning the Bears and everything. And we know how suspect they looked the first 2 weeks of the season, but the hit rate is there. Fields has hit this over in both games this season and likely trailing the Chiefs offense in this one. The Bears are going to need to throw the football to keep up in this one. Chiefs defense has allowed 468 passing yards this season. I'm really not all that crazy high on the Chiefs defense. I think Justin Fields can be able to dink and dunk his way to 200 yards in this one. And even they have the athletes on the perimeter in this one with Claypool and DJ Moore. The talent is there. Hopefully they're going to be able to scheme them open. 200 plus yards is definitely in the realm of possibility for an NFL quarterback. Now the second leg, speaking of NFL quarterback, it's a veteran. I'm taking Andy Dalton of the Panthers over 1.5 passing touchdowns, plus 195 odds on this leg. We look at the veteran quarterback, Andy Dalton, obviously starting for the injured Bryce Young this week. Seattle's defense was cooked by Jared Goff last week. They allowed 3 passing touchdowns, and I don't think it's all that crazy to say they could allow some passing touchdowns again. Everyone expects Carolina's offense to look bad with Andy Dalton, but to me, there's only upside there because Bryce Young, this game just looked a little bit too fast for him. Obviously, the Carolina offensive line has been suspect, but I trust Andy Dalton to be able to make the right reads in the red zone. And with the talent on the perimeter, Adam Thielen and Mingo and all those receivers and tight ends there, they could definitely get two passing touchdowns. That's not crazy to say for an NFL quarterback. And the third leg, we're going with a rookie running back in this one. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs of the Lions, 100 plus rushing and receiving yards, plus 235 value on this one. First of all, love the value on this one. I would play this one even as an individual leg. The Falcons defense have allowed 505 yards this season to 2 bad offenses to me. Panthers and Packers. I know the Packers offenses looked up and down, but those aren't 2 juggernauts at all. And with Montgomery banged up, Gibbs should see an increased workload. I'll bank on him to have an explosive play or 2 in there and get us to 100 yards. All it really takes is him, ripping off a 40, 50-yard run or 40, 50-yard reception, and we're really close to hitting this over because look at so far, Jahmyr Gibbs has had 56 and 60 total yards in his first 2 games this season. Obviously, he'll need to about double that production, but the value is there in this leg, and that's what's really going to get us close to being able to cash in, a 10 plus 10,000 odds parlay. I really do like Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he has a big day today against the Falcons. Now, fourth leg, we're going to Chris Olave of the Saints. We're taking him 75 plus receiving yards, plus 125 on this one. Olave is emerging as a real weapon for Derek Carr. There's definitely some chemistry there, and Olave has hit this over in 2 straight games with 86 and 112 receiving yards. He faces a Packers secondary that gave up 237 passing yards to the Falcons and Desmond Ridder. That's not a really crazy explosive offense, passing offense as well. And Olave should be in line for another big day. And worth noting, Jair Alexander surprised add to the injury report on Friday with a back injury. Maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't play. Either way, I think Chris Olave still is in line for a big day. He's such an explosive talent, and his catch on Monday Night Football was absolutely ridiculous. I'll bank on a guy like that any day for 75 plus yards. And our last leg, speaking of receivers, we're taking Devontae Adams of the Raiders, over 5.5 receptions, minus 135 odds on this leg. This leg is not plus value, but it is to get us close to that plus 10,000 odds parlay. Adams has hit this over in both games already. He's had 6 receptions in each of his first 2 games this year. I imagine Jimmy Garoppolo will still feed Adams no matter what the coverage. Davante Adams is such an amazing talent. His ability to get open in man and zone coverage makes this leg close to as sure a thing as possible. I mean, minus 135 is not a lock, but it's pretty close, and it just gets us over the hump. We know Davante Adams, obviously, one of the best receivers in the league, and I think he'll show out in prime time for us for sure. Austin, I don't know how we're not $2,000 richer this week. I really like our chances.
Now I'm going to put the parlays both over our faces right now. So if the people just want to screenshot it to maybe go back to it, check their notes, there you go. You'll see both of our parlays. We could both be $1,000 richer. So if you want to parlay all of our picks together, go for it. I don't know if necessarily you can because some of them are not SGP worthy, but I'm feeling really good about what we cooked up for you guys this weekend. Last week we went 2 for 4. We both got 5 legs, trying to be a little bit more conservative with some of them and not trying to, try to hit a home run with each of our legs. I think we got a good chance. So, of course, if you want to go check out some other NFL videos, including our favorite player props of the weekend, go check out the videos on the screen. You want to see our favorite game picks, spreads, team totals, that sort of nature, go check out that video, both of them on the screen. Have a great week 3. Let's hopefully be $1,000 richer, and hopefully we are sweating Puka Nacua on Monday Night Football for my leg, and hopefully Logan's is already done on Sunday Night Football. Let's have a great Sunday. We'll see you guys back in the next one. Peace.